Welcome back to Your Car, the channel where we explore the fascinating, the unique, and the extraordinary side of the automotive world. Today, we bring you something that breaks away from convention, something that is truly out of the ordinary and absolutely extraordinary. This isn't just another vehicle review, it's a deep dive into the kind of innovation and creativity that makes cars more than machines. They become experiences, pieces of art, and statements of human imagination. When we think about cars, the first image that comes to mind is often practical, a way to get from point A to point B. But every once in a while, automakers, designers, or passionate enthusiasts go beyond what's expected. They create vehicles that redefine what's possible, challenge the limits of engineering, and ignite our imagination. These are the cars that stop us in our tracks and make us say, "Wow, I've never seen anything like that before." And it's these very creations we'll be diving into today. The world of cars is filled with surprises, but the extraordinary ones always have a few things in common. They mix design brilliance with boldness, push technology in daring directions, and often tell a story that goes beyond horsepower or performance. Imagine a car that blends luxury with science fiction styling, or a vehicle that looks like it belongs more in a movie set than on a road. These cars don't just serve drivers, they inspire dreams. Take, for example, concept cars. Concept vehicles are often experimental prototypes that showcase a brand's vision for the future. They're futuristic, radical, and sometimes even bizarre, but they're also important. They give us a glimpse into what's next: electric drivetrains with unprecedented efficiency, AI-powered driving assistance, or shapes that defy traditional aerodynamics. While not all concepts make it to production, they fuel innovation. The extraordinary factor is that they push boundaries without apology. But the extraordinary doesn't always come from big manufacturers. Sometimes, it's born in a small garage, from the mind of a visionary engineer or an artist who sees cars as a canvas. Custom builds, resto mods, and one-off projects often achieve levels of creativity that the mainstream auto industry cannot match. Imagine a classic muscle car rebuilt with cutting-edge electric power, blending nostalgia with modern-day responsibility. Or a hypercar made entirely from sustainable materials, showing us that performance and environmental care can go hand in hand. Now, extraordinary can also mean luxurious beyond belief. There are vehicles crafted with the finest leather, precious metals, and technology that feels like science fiction. Cars that are less about transportation and more about offering an unforgettable experience every time you step inside. Imagine stepping into a cabin where every surface is hand-stitched, where wood panels are carved from rare trees, and where ambient lighting turns the space into something out of a luxury lounge. The extraordinary element here isn't speed, it's how these vehicles redefine what comfort and elegance can mean. On the flip side, some extraordinary cars are built purely for performance. These are machines that seem to ignore the laws of physics, delivering acceleration that takes your breath away, handling that feels telepathic, and design that makes your heart race. Hypercars, supercars, and even track-only monsters fall into this category. They're not practical, they're not built for everyone, but they are undeniably extraordinary. They represent the pinnacle of engineering and human ambition, proving just how far we can push the limits of what a car can do. There's also a cultural dimension to extraordinary cars. Think of vehicles that become icons, not just for their performance or design, but for the way they shape identity and lifestyle. Certain models symbolize freedom, rebellion, or status. They may not always be the fastest or the most expensive, but they carry a story, a meaning, and a legacy that elevates them beyond the ordinary. Sometimes it's the car you grew up dreaming about, sometimes it's the one that defined an era, and sometimes it's the car that represents an entire movement in design or engineering. What's fascinating is how these extraordinary creations affect us emotionally. They make people stop and stare, they spark conversations, and they leave lasting impressions. You don't have to own one to appreciate its magic. Just seeing it pass by on the street, or displayed at a show, is enough to leave you inspired. And that is the essence of what makes them extraordinary. They connect with us on a deeper level. Looking toward the future, the extraordinary will only keep evolving. We're entering an era where cars are no longer just mechanical, but deeply digital. Artificial intelligence, autonomous driving, advanced connectivity, and sustainable energy solutions are shaping vehicles that are smarter than ever. The extraordinary might not always look like raw power or extreme design. It might be about a car that drives itself while you relax, or a vehicle that cleans the air as it drives. Extraordinary could even mean redefining what ownership looks like, with shared mobility and futuristic services that change how we interact with vehicles entirely. In the end, what makes something out of the ordinary and extraordinary isn't just about rarity or price. It's about the vision behind it, the daring creativity, and the ability to spark awe. Cars like these remind us that automobiles are not only tools but also works of art, engineering marvels, and sometimes even cultural revolutions. So, the next time you see a vehicle that makes you stop and think, remember, this is more than just a car. This is a statement. This is a dream on wheels. This is out of the ordinary. This is extraordinary. And here on your car, that's exactly what we celebrate. The vehicles that break the mold, that go beyond expectation, and that remind us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. Stay tuned, because we'll keep bringing you the most unique and extraordinary stories from the automotive world.